Guys, this is Heretic, and this morning we just got this mail from Camel, which is a Crown War adjustment. I thought it was really important to get this out before Crown War begins for everybody. Today's Friday. We're going to be getting Crown War again, obviously, on Saturdays. To provide everybody with a better gaming experience, we adjusted the total battle length of the Crown War event. Specific adjustment: adjusted the battle length from the previous 180 minutes, which was 3 hours, to 90 minutes, 1.5 hours. That's the change. This is the second major change to the Crown event in the last few months. Previously, the event was 8 hours long, way too long, and was divided into two different phases. The first phase is what we have right now. The second phase was the defense phase. Before, you could do away with the first phase, which was 5 hours, I believe. Or maybe that was the 3 hour. I don't know. You could do away with that and then just capture it on the defensive phase. So it kind of voided part of the event and the strategy that was involved. So the changes are really good. This change is really good too, because the shorter the event, the more you can plan for it, the more you can do it in a bite-sized way, which is what is good for mobile, right? And also, this is so much better for the game, as the overlap with Frenzy and Void previously could make things really interesting in a bad way, where you could actually lose points. You know, your realm could lose points because of the overlap. Now with the update, there's a lot less of that can happen. The new changes will most likely make you spend a little bit more time planning the event in contested realms, obviously, because there's just a smaller margin of error here. The total maximum amount of points that you can get in the Royal City has gone down to 1,350 total points. Each tower can get you a maximum of 450 points, and there's 8 towers. The total number of possible points in the event is 4,950. So if you go over, let me actually show it on the screen. So if I go over to the map and I go here to the Royal City and we look around, there are 8 towers here. And so each tower can give you 450 points, and the middle can give you a total of 1,350 points, right? So you need to divide them up. So the way that it was before, you could take just this Royal City, and then you could take each one of these towers. You could take 3 of them. And if you held that, the point total would be enough. If you got it from the very beginning, the point total would be enough for you to actually win the event. That still holds true. So at the very beginning, if you rush in, you take the Royal City and you take 3 towers and you can hold them to the end, boom, no one can beat you. You will end up with, I believe it's 2,700 points. And the maximum that anyone else could get would be 2,250. Now, though, there's less of a margin of error. Before, if you were 10, 15 minutes in before you took the 3, you could still pull it out depending on what happened before then. Now, because time is crunched down, you are going to have to, and I'm going to give a couple tips real quick. So I recommend that if you can, send 1 troop to every tower in the Royal City at the very beginning. Speed them in. Fake march, take it, get those points. If you're using a TA, or if you're taking each thing one at a time, it will make much more sense. If you own everything, at least you're getting some points at the beginning. Even if you lose those, get as many points as you can from the very beginning, just to make sure that the math ends up on your side. Also, in this, because of the reduced amount of time, the politics within the game are going to be more important, I think. If, let's say, you have 2 major alliances, but you also have some friendly alliances with a couple strong people in it, maybe they could go in and you could designate a tower for them, right? And so, again, this is going to make it easier for you. It depends on how many players you have and what their strengths are and how many people can be on at at the event time, because the event is so short now, having everybody on is going to be super important. But having a friendly alliance take one or two of the towers, or multiple alliances take those, so that that alliance that you're competing against ends up with less points, even if they can hold them for a little while, and prevent, force your enemy to use their main marches to take towers away from you that you're not even in, right? That will help out a lot. Also, have someone designated to watch the enemy, whoever your major opponent is, and to watch their main marches. So know where they're sending their main marches to, and then you can focus on the secondary marches. That way you're not dealing with their main artifacts and their main totems. Right? So that's going to come more into play. It's going to make it more interesting, I think. It's going to make it possibly even harder because of the time. You're going to have to really plan this out. If you have if it's contested, if you have agreements or whatever, which is boring, then you don't have to worry about all of this. But I hope you enjoy this change. I know we will, because when we have to get in and actually plan some of this out, especially on this new realm that we're joining, when we get to this first crown, being able to have a strategy around how we handle it is going to be really critical if we actually want to win it. All right. So with that, enjoy. Take care.